Okay. Hello, good morning, happy Monday. My name is Ashley. I am a silver consultant. Um, and I started this series 3 months ago, actually, and I do it once a month, and it's all about a different topic. I'll be honest, this month I couldn't think of anything because I had a lot going on, um, with family and my move and vacation and just everything all rolled into one big snowball. So with the help of Rachel Brown, she helped me come up with this topic today, um, which I love talking about. So I love goal setting and I like talking about recognizing success that you have to have big accomplishments to recognize that success. So we're going to break that down a little bit. Um, if you've never watched one of my recordings for this series or never been on one of my calls, training calls, put a 1 in the chat, just so I can see who's new. And if you're a returning fan, give me a 2. All right, cool. So we have a bunch of ones. Um, One thing I do say, I have a little disclaimer. Ashley's very blunt. Ashley has no filter. Ashley says what's on her mind. So my trainings are a little unique than others. Um, so for goal setting, there's a whole bunch of different ways that we can set goals. I have it's packed away right now. But I actually have a book that is a goal setting book because I personally like to have digital forms and paper forms. I don't know why I packed it away last night, but it's in a box. So I'm gonna get it back out. But I actually have a goal setting um book and I shared it in I believe last month's video I put it in. I found it on Amazon. It's a great book because it really breaks down things to what you need to do in order to achieve that goal. Much like there's also SMART goals. Um, and does everybody here familiar with Canva at all? Papa 3 if you are if you are not. Look, I totally switched it up. All right, put a 4 if you're not familiar with Canva. Okay. So the ones I'm just going to go over Canva real quick because Canva actually has some really good um, templates for goal setting. You can also do vision boards if you're familiar with vision boards. I love vision boards. I have a vision board that's on my background of my computer, which I can share with you guys because I did a digital one. Um, so the digital one turned into a printout copy of one because didn't want to, I just didn't have the time to create one with the old school way with paper and all that. So all I did was printed out my digital version. So I'm gonna go over um, some templates that you can use, and then we're gonna talk about like the goal setting itself. So let me click on the right screen. Screen share. Okay. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Thank you. All right, so if you go into Canva just from now, I have the pro version because I do a lot of stuff, so I do pay for it monthly. But there are a lot of things that you can do that are free. So when you're on, if you just go to canva.com and it's canva.com, um, you're gonna come up to like this home screen, and then up here it says, "What do you want to design today?" If you just put in goal setting, you're gonna get templates. And there's all different kinds. You can make them extremely specific or it can be generic. I was actually looking at this one because it looked pretty cool. This is a pro one, so this is a paid feature, but you can find um, ones that are free. There is usually if it says pro or something like that on it, it's not free, but this one should be free. Or if there's one that's paid for that you really like and you know how to draw some shapes, you can just draw it on a piece of paper. Um, so we're gonna look at this one real quick. As it loads. I'm gonna make it bigger because so you can put your goal, your start date, your due date. I always like having dates on them, and I'm gonna talk more about that in a bit. But then here's like a good area you can put like what goals you wanna do. Your action steps to get to those goals, possible obstacles that may get in your way, which usually the biggest obstacle is yourself that's going to get in the way. Um, how to overcome those obstacles. I actually really like this one, and it's free. So, um, I think I may actually use this one. But you can use Canva to find any, if you, to write it down, because I believe you should write your goals down to have that visualization of them and focus on them. So I'm going to stop my share. All right, so goal setting. You can do big goals. Um, you can you can have big goals. And depending what it is, I'm not my trainings aren't just business related. You can set goals for life, for your home, your friends, family, relationships, business, whatever you want to set a goal for. Um, I like to set a monthly goal and then I break it down into little bits. Um, and the other thing I mentioned is about the dates. I like putting dates on things when I want to achieve them, and if I don't reach that goal date, it's okay. Like you don't have to beat yourself up over it, because you truly are a few steps closer than you were before. Um, so that's one thing that I truly like is you can't, and on Canva, that one that I just showed you about your biggest obstacle, you are always going to be your biggest obstacle of getting in the way. And then it's up to you and your mindset to get out of your own way. Um, so if you guys want, we can do a goal setting exercise during this time. I'm completely fine with that. If you guys want to do something like that, drop let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go with a 5. Put a 5 in the chat and we can work on setting. We'll do short term. We'll do just like this week. Because I know some of you guys mentioned about what you want to work on this week, so that's what um we're gonna do, just a small goal. That way I can break it down for you. All right, so let's do this. So if you do not already, grab a piece of paper and a pen. I got my one book that I left out.
Neat.
Oh, yes, we are. We are the neat team, just so y'all know.
I miss you.
I miss you too, Ethan. and I came up with a really good acronym for NEAT.
I was just like, wait, Ashley's in on. I'm just like, Ashley's on. I better jump in.
Um, yes. Well, welcome, Yifeng. We're working on goal setting. We're actually going to do a exercise right now to work on this week's goals for whatever your goal is, whether it's business, if you're new and you're training and you want to get through X amount of trainings, we're going to break it down for you. And I'm going to put in the so I'm going to put in the chat too, because our amazing leader is on the call today. All right. So one thing I said earlier was about if you don't hit the date, that to not beat yourself up over it, because you are closer than you were before you started. So if anybody wants to reiterate that and type it in the chat, that would be great, because I'm trying to like do a million things here. But and honestly, we are our biggest obstacle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring up that Canva thing again, because I really like that one that I picked out. And we are going to use this as our template. I'm going to make it a little smaller so the whole thing is on the sheet. So you can write it like this, you know, draw it out how the paper is, or you can just go down your sheet. However you want to do it, let's just do it. Because if we don't do it, it's not going to get done. So your goals. I want you guys to write down, let's see how many spots there. There's 4 things there. So let's shoot for 3 goals you want to accomplish this week. And we're going to put the start date today, which is going to be Monday the 10th. So it's 7/10/23. And then the end date is going to be whatever Sunday's date is. The 16th. Right? Yes. So we're going to go to 7/16. And then when you're done, just throw in the chat. I believe we're at 6 now. Let's go to put a 6 in the chat when you're finished. All right. Perfect. I got a lot of sixes. All right, now this is going to be the fun part. Is anybody, actually, I'm not going to say is anybody, either A, raise your hand and share your goal, or I'm going to cherry pick somebody to make you share your goals because we're going to share them out loud to get this done. So if you want to share, just come off mute and do it.
Okay, this is Veronica.
Hi,
So what,
Veronica.
hello. So I guess my top three goals would be to complete my Facebook business page and
Okay,
complete the Virgin certification certifications this week, and then do
perfect.
the mock booking.
Perfect. That is awesome. Okay, so now for your Virgin certification, where are you at within that? Like, are you halfway through? Are you just started?
Halfway through,
Okay,
so I
okay.
just want to focus. I think past few weeks I've just been jumping to all different types of certifications, so I just want to focus on completing
One at a time.
the
Yep,
one. Okay,
yep,
correct.
yep.
Mhm.
Perfect. So, what I would suggest you do is, and this is what I did when I did the Virgin one, um, look at what you have to complete and then split it up between seven, or like if you want to work on it all 7 days, just to make it a little bit like if you have seven more courses or whatever, then do one course a day. Like break it down in little goals to make, or little and smaller steps to make it more achievable. Um,
Mhm.
and then the same with your business. Like your business page is just break it down, and I would say literally give yourself 2 hours and work on it. And that's something like your business page too, like your initial setup is literally your initial setup. My business page is continuously changes because I think of things and then I'm like, oh, I want to add this. But really just finding that structure.
Mhm.
You want your page, crap, that you want your page to look like, then that's really, what to focus on. And then your mock
Mhm.
bookings. Guess what? We have mock booking Monday today at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So you can get it done there.
Perfect.
Um,
Mhm.
all right.
Yeah,
So
I have
thank
that
you
done.
for awesome. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to share?
I'll share.
Uh,
Okay. Versa,
It's
go ahead.
so my goals for this week are bringing in 6 prospects, travel booking, completing my travel booking I have pending, and then to do my Disney training finally.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
My
I have
my goal is to do that after vacation.
I have to do the Disney. I have I'll have 3 granddaughters, and my granddaughters were here yesterday for my son's birthday, and they're like, Mama, we want to go to Disney. And I'm like,
Oh,
guess,
better get on
guess
that.
gotta do. Guess what Nana's gotta do? Nana's gotta do. So
All
that's one of
right.
my this
That's
week.
awesome. So, I mean, you you want to bring on the 6 prospects, which I mean, you know what to do for that.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, and the Disney one, like I said, do the literally break it up by day. Take advantage of the full 7 days. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Um, but awesome. Thank you for sharing. All right, I heard somebody else
This is
peeking.
Debbie Lambert.
Okay, Debbie, let's hear it.
Okay. So I need to finish the bulk of my training,
Okay. And that's
complete
in the
any,
My Team Horizon, right?
yes,
Okay.
complete any task within the training, such as the certifications. And I have not done my LinkedIn page
Okay.
or updated it. I have one. Um, then I would need to do some mock bookings
Mm-hmm.
and seek some customers
Okay.
and book some travel,
Okay.
or at least get started.
Okay. Perfect. So, um, once you share about your business, especially on your Facebook page, definitely, I know in the trainings we talk about getting your algorithm going. Start posting on things, start like interacting with your people on Facebook so that way that brings you into their newsfeed. Um, and break down what you need to do. So if you're on step 2, what step are you in on My Team Horizon first?
Oh, goodness. I don't know without
Okay.
going back and looking.
Okay. So if you're on step 2, see what you have to finish. Look at all the videos and see how many you have to finish, and then look at step 3. So say you have, 8 videos to go through, then maybe do 2 a day, and then that'll be
Mhm.
4 days. Because within those videos, there are going to be things like creating your template for Efung did it. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of it? The credit card authorization form.
Mhm.
And then your invoice and things like that, and setting up your booking document, like when you send out quotes. So you have all that kind of stuff that's inside of there that you'll be doing. But I would just break it down into smaller steps. I mean,
Mhm.
if you're still working on your training, I would set your six 6 bookings
Mhm.
as a monthly goal.
Mhm.
Because one thing I always tell people is you do not want to put all your eggs in one basket because you're going to
Right.
overwhelm yourself.
Mhm.
Um, but no, those are really good goals. I mean, and that's, you can even take those
Mhm.
to, monthly, especially, with the
Mhm.
6 people, like that's totally doable. Um, with following the steps and marketing yourself and things like that, depending
Mhm.
on your following.
I would have had 10 if I felt ready earlier. I had the Disney trip, but anyway,
Okay.
I'll be ready next time.
All right. No problem. All right. So, everybody, thank you for sharing. Next, we're going to look at your action steps that you are going to need to make those goals possible this week. So, this is where we're going to break it down into like little steps. So, one of my goals is to finish packing my house because right now it looks like a bomb went off and I can't stand it. So my very first goal is to finish packing my house. So I actually have one of my action steps is I'm gonna pick one room a day and just blast it and get it done. So what we want to do is break your steps down to smaller action steps in order to get to that goal. So if you want to write some of those down, and then everybody needs to put for possible obstacles, you're gonna write your name because you are your biggest obstacle because you get in your own dang head.
I know.
Hi,
Was slow.
Rebecca.
He was going faster than I thought.
Slow down, Rebecca.
Oh gosh, I thought I was muted. I'm not driving. Sorry.
That was fun. You never know what our trainings are going to be like here. And then how to overcome your obstacles. So there may be a bunch of obstacles. Like, um, sometimes things happen, and like for instance, I just had my mom took a really bad fall and totally like flipped my life in like a 360. Um, and I had to overcome some of that stuff, and it was one of those. It was tough. But I had to look at the positive of everything. She wasn't more hurt than what she happened to be. Um, And once again, that is in the same aspect of myself being my own obstacle, because I could have just went down the rabbit hole of crap thoughts. Oops. I keep spilling my water. All right, so when everybody's done filling out your action steps, possible obstacles, how you're going to overcome them, if you need help figuring out action steps or how to overcome your obstacles, just let me know. And as a team, we can all figure it out. But like I said, you are going to be your biggest obstacle. You are going to be that one thing that's always going to get in your own way and your own mind. And if you have not watched my very first one about mindset, I would definitely go back and watch that. And then when you're done with that, just throw a 7 in the chat when you are done working on that. And then I'm going to go into talking about some vision board stuff. If you guys are good, I'm going to take this down if you have it all written down. If not, I can tell you, because I want to find my vision board and share it with you guys. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Does anybody need any help with their goal stuff?
Actually, I got a question for you.
Yes, Ladina. What do you got?
So, you know how we're always motivating other people? What keeps you motivated?
Waking up on the right side of the bed.
Only you. You're a mess. I needed that.
No, I honestly, I've been through a lot of
Yeah.
crap.
Mm-hmm.
I've put in the work for myself as far as um changing my surroundings, changing the way I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do see a therapist and I love her. She's amazing. But really it's the personal development that I put in to not play the victim. I
Mm-hmm.
used to be a I used to fall into the victim rabbit hole trap, and it's one of the biggest things is I look at things as why do things happen for me instead of to me? Because when you
Mhm.
think of about life happening to you, it's actually a negative way of thinking, where if you think of things of why it's happening for you, and I get certain circumstances are really hard to think of that way, but there's a little glimpse of good out of every bad situation.
Mhm.
It's just changing our mindsets to think that. Um, and really, it's like, I have a daughter with special needs who literally
Mhm.
amazes me every day. And now that she's getting older, like things are shifting with her, and there's times that she drives me batshit crazy, but you know what? I still love her. um, because now it's, now she's finally coming into like those teenage years, and it's just like, "Argh."
Mhm.
um, but really, it's really just my way of thinking. Like I try to think positive,
Mhm.
um, and one thing I've learned, somebody said this to me, and I'm gonna say it here, is to not sit in your own poopy diaper because it's not a
Mhm.
great place to sit. And that's what motivates me because I don't want to sit in a poopy diaper.
Mhm. I got you. Thank you for that. Because I know I am, people look at me that was like, oh wow, you've been through a lot. And I'm motivated. I know I love to, if they need help pushing them or whatever they need, I am that person. But when it
Yes.
comes to myself, I feel like that's the downfall. Like I know I need to take that same advice I am giving motivation to other people. And that's like,
That's the
even with
hardest
like
part. Yeah.
life, life and business, but mainly life,
Yeah.
because I'm that go-to person in my family. Like they go to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, I need to step back. I need to step back, a self-care of just me
Yes.
focusing. So
And
yeah.
that's something I've done is I've learned to focus on myself, and I learned that
Mhm.
it's okay to put me first.
Mhm.
Even, I mean, in reality, I'm not, to be the best version of yourself, you need to put yourself first. I put myself first before my own daughter because if I'm not showing up as my best and I'm not in a good mental state for my health, how am I going to be there for her? And one thing I always say is like, say you're on an probably a probably a bad example if you don't like flying, but say you're on an airplane and it's going down,
Mhm.
you are going to put your oxygen mask on first before you go and try and save anybody else. Because if you, even when it comes down to like my own kid, I would put
Mhm.
mine on first before I put hers on because I could put hers on and be out of time for myself.
Gotcha.
So you need to be okay with the fact that it's okay to put yourself first
Mhm.
and know that you can't always be, and I was the same way. I was a people pleaser and I was always do good for others, but yet I sat back and realized like, but what am I doing good for me?
Mhm.
So that I mean there's times that I lose motivation and I'm just like, heck with this. I'm tired. And sometimes it's okay to just take a break. And if you want to take a nap, go take a nap and then get back at what you were doing.
Gotcha. Thank you, madam.
You're welcome. I feel like I should wear a crown now that I'm a madam.
Agreed. I mean, it's true. I mean, it's just like, I mean, I always use that analogy. It's like, if your boat is sinking down, then you need to fix your own boat because before you can help fixing other people's boat.
Yes.
So self-love is really important for
Yeah.
me. It's just like, there's no way you can say it's just like, well, you care about others when you don't even care about yourself.
Yes.
So it's all coming from you. I mean, it's just like if you need that motivation, find it somewhere. You will
Yeah.
find it. I mean,
Yep.
there's a lot of, motivation videos in YouTube.
Yep.
You just have to pick and choose whatever that's gonna just like help you to just like get up and go.
Yeah. And it's finding something that resonates with you that could really
Correct.
like push you to, you know, to be who you want to be. And it's really
Yep.
like my thing right now is really discovering like who I am. And there's people from back east where I used to live that like don't talk to me anymore because I'm not who I used to be. And that was the whole damn purpose. Like
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
didn't
I mean,
like
it's
that
just,
version of me. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I'm trying to be the best version of myself so that way I can pass it on to my friends, my family, my daughter, all of you guys, to show up for these calls and give you my knowledge, my and inspire you guys to um to want to do the same because once you stay in that revolving door, it's going to be a constant revolving door. Like things aren't going to change, and my biggest thing is things won't change unless you change. So,
Amen.
um, so if you want change, and then you have to be the change. Okay,
Neat.
so that is neat, isn't it? All right.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing that we're going to talk about is recognizing success. Oh, crap. See, I want to show you my vision board first. Take two. All right. So my vision board, I have this on my background of my. So I made this right on Canva. Super easy. You can find if you go on Canva and type in vision boards. Um, you'll get all kinds of different things. I like this one because it's talking about myself, hobbies, family, and business. Um, and it's crazy because honestly, some of these things so far have already come into fruition that I've been working on. So this person right here, um, is actually a personal trainer from Canada that I have watched and watched, and I just like almost like girl crushing her. And she's very motivating, uplifting, and now I actually work with her as she's one of my personal trainers that I work with. I work out with her online, um, which is kind of funny because I did tell her just the other week that, I hope this doesn't sound weird, but you're on my vision board, and here she is, like, and now I literally talk to her one on one. Um, but like I have her on my vision board because she inspires me and physically like she has that physique of what I'm going for in my personal health journey. Um there's certain things, I want to travel more. I want to read more. I used to ride horses. I want to do that more again. And um but there's just certain things like you can put whatever you want on your vision board and you just stare at it and it could mean all different things. And it's you who decides what that meaning for you is. um, and just like here, like I have this little tiny home. um, I've been working for the past since I moved to Arizona for going on 5 years to get my own place because I up and sold everything that I had in Pennsylvania except for a few key furniture items that were like my grandparents to move out here. And I moved to Arizona in a little 9x7 storage container. And I moved in with my parents. And then COVID hit and the market went through the roof. But I'm finally, after paying off some things and financially getting to where I need to. My kiddo and I are getting our own place. Now, granted, it's a small apartment, but it's a baby step, and that's where I want to go into next with recognizing success. So this is my vision board, and you, like I said, go on Canva and you look up vision boards. Vision board templates. And then there's tons of them. There's free ones, there are paid for ones. And then you just replace the pictures of what you want and just sit down and really think about what it is that you want to strive for. Okay, so recognizing success. Like I said earlier, if you don't hit that goal by that date, it's okay. You don't have to beat yourself up over it because you are taking the steps to get there. So you are one step closer than you were from when you first started. So just like, for instance, my apartment. I'm literally getting a one-bedroom apartment for my daughter and I. She gets the bedroom, and I have a dining room that that's like a separate dining room that I'm going to turn into my own bedroom. But it's not my forever home. It's not exactly everything I dreamed of, but it is it's the goal that I set for myself to get out of my parents' house. And then I can work towards something bigger as I build my income. Um, so no matter how small of a success is, you should still recognize it and celebrate it. So, Debbie, like, you want to bring on um, 6 bookings. So this month, say you may only get 1 booking. Well, you're now one booking closer to that goal. So you don't ever give up that goal. So it's not like the end of the week. Versa wants to do her Disney training. So by the end of the week, if she doesn't finish it, she's not just gonna say F it and stop. You are literally one step closer to where you were, and you just keep going. Like, you don't get rid of that goal because it didn't happen. So no matter how, no, you won't, Versa. I will come find you. New Mexico's not far from me. I will get there in lightning speed. So that's one of the biggest things is don't give up on your goals. Keep them there. And if it takes you, so my short-term thing was to only live with my parents for like a year or two to get a steady job and income to show that, because of just moving here, I didn't have a job. I just left my job back in Pennsylvania, moved out here in hopes I would find something. So obviously I can't get an apartment without having, a steady income. So it was only supposed to be a year or two, and here we are, 5 years later. Just about October will be 5 years, so I'm moving out just shy of 5 years. But I didn't give up on it. It was one of those things that hell or high water, it's going to happen. It's just taking those steps to get there. Just like if you have so here I have a really hard time drinking when I first moved here, drinking water. That's actually one of my goals that I put down for this week is to drink more water. Because I live in Arizona and you literally melt out here in the summertime because it's hot and you need to drink a lot of water. And I think next Sunday, actually, it's supposed to be like 121 degrees here. So you need to drink a lot of water. So I'm actually have on my goal to up my water. And it's literally, I have one of my action steps is to set a timer on my phone to remind me to drink water. Um, And it's just finding those things that are going to work for you to get you closer to your goals. And I think that's going to be it for my call today, because I can't think of anything else. But really, no matter how big or small your goal is, and no matter how big or small your successes, like, you still need to celebrate it. And that's one thing I really, I love about our team too, is we recognize people, when it comes to business. Like, when you do your first booking, we're going to celebrate you. Even if it's $200, we're going to celebrate you. If your first booking's $10,000, we're going to celebrate you. It doesn't matter what what your first booking is, we're going to celebrate you. And just like when you have other bookings and you have your booking beasts and you have a $5,000 one, we're going to celebrate you. That's um that's one thing that I like is, especially when you're new here, no matter your first booking, no matter how big or how small it is, we're going to recognize you and we're going to celebrate your success, because there is a lot of information that you are inputting into your noggin to learn. And it's something that we recognize for you, because for some people, your first booking may come easy. For other people, it may not be so easy. So that's all I got for today. Does anybody have any questions before I end this? Or comments, concerns? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller! Is Bueller in the house? No? Okay, cool. Well, then I guess I must have done a good job. Alright, I'm gonna end the recording real quick.
Thank you.